All right, now you spoke to legacy of thinking from a historical perspective, but now let's talk a little bit about family and children and building there. As your son grows, as your sons grow, your connection, you open with the passing of your grandmother. Please speak on family and what that legacy is in Black Detroit right now.
Well, I mean, I think part of that is, I think most of us don't know, or we lost the touch of the reality of the tradition. This Black radical tradition of coming from the South and coming to the North, of fighting for equality, fighting for freedom, the freedom struggles, right? And we've got a taste of progress, and it has made us complacent and shit. And then we seeing the bullshit, and we've become angry as a result of the bullshit. And the complacency and the anger together is not a good mix. It's like mixing oil and water. So again, fundamentally, my legacy starts with my grandfather, my grandparents, who comes from the South, who migrates up here because of their parents, right? And my part of the legacy, again, I don't embrace Zone 8 because of the gang aspect that I helped create. It's a neighborhood that I've been fortunate to be associated with because my grandfather purchased a house in the neighborhood. That was the first legacy that I was introduced to, which was powerful. The second part of my legacy is understanding the relationship between my grandfather and my mother. She being his only child, and her naming me after him. And then the extinction of that legacy, my father, meeting my father in prison, and embracing all the things that he can teach me. So being clothed in all of that, now my responsibility is to share that with my son, share that with my nieces and nephews, but also help others realize that and that. So because Yusef Shakur doesn't come out of thin air, he comes from somewhere. This is Kari doesn't come out of thin air. I mean when people come over and they come to the Detroit different houses, like, I lived there, 30, 40 some years old. I've lived there all my life. This is the house that me and my parents grew up. This is the house that my grandparents grew in, right? We traditionally, nobody may live here, but hey, and this is where it's getting, the time has changed, but out of that legacy, you maintain that legacy. So when you walk in the house, you see the plaque of your grandmother and your grandfather and whatnot, but you're expressing it through who you are. So this is the part of the new legacy that you're adding on to. Same thing here. Like when people come in, they realize literally my mother lives down the street. But also like when we was doing a backpack event, down the street at my mama's house. Like he's saying, you just don't invite anybody to your mama's house or to your parents' house and shit. And so part of that was shifting how we thought, but also my mother. I joke with her because when I was a kid, my grandfather like that lot is yours. So like mine is my lot, but she owns it. So she allowed me to use her lot. But then what happened? She cooked the food. My sister started getting involved. Like they not activists, they not everyday activists, but in that type of environment, in that type of setting, we created opportunities for them to get involved. And so out of that, what happens is, growing up, walking down the street, just going to walking to the community house or whatever, and the little kid be like, that's the guy that gave me a backpack, or thank you, or the kids coming home from college like, hey, I remember when you gave me a backpack, or it's so many things that like this is part of the family. Well, because there's the immediate family, but then there's the extended family. We forget about how important the extended family was in the Black community, and we have to get back to that. Because when you if you're a single mother and or a single dad or whatever the case may be, and you got to make a run, and you can't take the kids with me. Hey, Kari, can you watch them or look out for them? Woo. Or just go play with Kari kids. This is the type of the kinship that we develop. That again, these since we don't have these frameworks, or because the hood is what it is, it doesn't manufacture that type of relationship anymore. When we lived in neighborhoods, hey, Miss Minnie, my mama said, can we borrow some rice? Or going down. Now this was the importance of a Crockett store in the neighborhood. The money may be short. Hey, go ask Mr. Crockett's. Can we put some things on credit till we get some money? Sure, but he's not over trying to tax nobody. Creating an extortion ring and shit. These are These are the internal relationships that is so crucial. That's part of a family legacy, an extended family legacy, and a neighborhood legacy. That's all associated with Black Detroit, with Black folks.